No man ever steps in the same river twice, because it is not the same river, and he is not the same man. At first, that sounds like a nice philosophical quote, something you hear once, think about it for a second, and then move on. But if you really sit with it, it becomes a little unsettling, because it is not just saying the world changes, it is saying you change. Not just over years, not just after some major life event, but constantly. The version of you that clicked on this video is already fading. Every idea you absorb, every memory you revisit, every conversation you have, every regret you carry, every lesson you learn, all of it quietly changes the way you see the world. And if the way you see the world changes, then the person looking at it changes too. So the question is not just, are you the same person you were 10 years ago? The question is, what actually makes you, you? Most of us move through life with the feeling that there is some fixed me somewhere inside us, a core self, a true identity, something stable underneath all the change. You might change your clothes, your job, your opinions, your habits, your friends, your goals, but deep down, it still feels like there is a permanent you experiencing all of it. And in everyday life, that feeling is useful. You need to wake up in the morning and feel connected to the person who went to sleep the night before. You need to remember your past, make plans for your future, take responsibility for your actions, and recognize your own reflection in the mirror. Without some sense of continuity, life would become almost impossible to navigate. But continuity is not the same as permanence. A flame can look the same from one moment to the next, but it is constantly changing. It is consuming new fuel, shifting shape, reacting to the air around it. The only reason it looks stable is because the change is continuous. Maybe the self is more like that, not a statue, a process, something that appears solid because the transition is usually too slow to notice. When we think about losing ourselves, we usually imagine something dramatic. Memory loss, a breakdown, a life-changing accident, some sudden moment where the old self disappears and a new one is forced to take its place. But most of the time, you do not lose old versions of yourself all at once. They disappear gradually. You learn something new, and a belief shifts slightly. Pain changes how you see people. Betrayal changes how easily you trust. And sometimes one mistake can change the entire story you tell about yourself. None of these moments may feel like they are transforming you at the time, but they are. Then one day you look back at who you were 10 years ago and realize something uncomfortable. That person is gone. Not dead in a literal sense, but gone as a way of thinking, gone as a way of seeing, gone as a version of reality that only existed through them. And the same thing is happening now. The current version of you is not final. It is temporary. It is being shaped by what you pay attention to, what you believe, what you avoid, what you practice, and what you experience. That is frightening because it means the self is less stable than we want it to be. But it is also beautiful because if the self can fade, it can also grow. If you are not fixed, then you are not trapped as the person you currently are. There is an idea in philosophy often connected to existentialism. Existence precedes essence. We are not born with complete identity already written into us. We exist first, and then through life, we become something. Another way to think about it is, maybe experience comes from essence. Maybe experience does not just reveal who we are, maybe experience creates who we are. We often talk as if there is a true self hidden deep inside, waiting to be discovered, as if the goal of life is to peel back the layers and find the real person underneath. But what if there is no finished self waiting there? What if the self is built? A child is not born with complete worldview. They do not come into the world with a fully formed personality, moral framework, sense of humor, insecurities, ambitions, fears, and beliefs about what life means. Those things are from over time. Some come from biology, some come from family, some come from culture, some come from pain, some come from love, some come through repetition. Some come from choices, and some from moments so small you barely notice them when they happened. A sentence someone said years ago. A failure you never fully forgot. A compliment you still carry. A moment where you realize the world is not what you thought it was. These things become part of you. Even when you do not consciously choose them, that means who you are is not just something inside you. It is also the result of everything that has touched you. Two people can live in the same world, but they do not experience the same world. They can grow up in the same city, go to the same school, hear the same words, watch the same events unfold, and still become completely different. Because experience is not just what happens. Experience is also how it is interpreted. One person gets criticized and becomes insecure. Another gets criticized and they become driven. One person experiences failure and starts to believe they are not good enough. Another experiences failure and learns resilience. The event matters, but the meaning attached to the event matters too. And that meaning is shaped by everything that came before it. Your memories shaped how you interpret new moments. Your fears shape what you notice. Your beliefs shape what you ignore. Your wounds shape what feels dangerous. Your hope shapes what feels possible. So when we say every person is unique, it is not just because everyone has different DNA or different life circumstances. It is because everyone carries a different internal world, a different chain of memories, a different emotional map, a different pattern of meaning. No one has seen the world exactly as you've seen it. No one has carried the exact same combination of memories, fears, lessons, relationships, mistakes, private thoughts, and quiet moments that shape the way reality feels to you. That is what makes individuality feel so real. You're not just a person moving through reality. Your reality filtered through a very specific history, and that history is yours alone. There is tension here. Your experience is deeply personal, but it did not form by itself. Your personality was shaped by other people. Your language came from other people. Your beliefs were influenced by culture. Your fears were shaped by past events. Your confidence was shaped by feedback. Your goals were influenced by what you saw, admired, lacked, or suffered through. So yes, you are unique, but you are also not self-created from nothing. You are more like a pattern formed by everything you have encountered, a unique pattern, but still a pattern made through relationship. On one hand, you are undeniably individual. You have your own memories, your own body, your own perspective, your own private experience of being alive. But on the other hand, almost everything that makes you, you, came from beyond you, from people, from places, from language, from history, from culture, from pain, from love, from the world pressing itself into you. So where is the clean boundary between you and everything that shaped you? Where does you end and the world begin? There is me in here, and the world out there. That feeling is powerful because your experience is private. You do not experience my thoughts. I do not experience your memories. You feel your pain from the inside. I can only understand it from the outside. But if the me in here was shaped by the world out there, then maybe the boundary is not as clean as it seems. Maybe individuality is real, but not absolute. Maybe the self is not fake, but it is not fixed either. Maybe you are not a solid thing separate from life. Maybe you are a changing process within life, a process shaped by everything it meets. This is not just abstract philosophy. It changes how we think about ourselves. If you believe you have fixed essence, you can start treating your current self like a life sentence. This is just who I am. I can't change. I've always been like this. My past defines me. Sometimes those thoughts feel true because the patterns are old. The same reactions, the same fears, the same habits, the same ways of protecting yourself. After a while, repetition can start to feel like identity. But if experience shapes identity, then change becomes possible. Not easy, not instant, but possible. New experiences can reshape the self. New ideas can change how you think. New habits can change what you become. New environments can change what feels normal. New relationships can change what you believe you deserve. Yes, the current version of you is fading, but that also means the future version of you is still open, still being formed by what you choose to expose yourself to, what you practice, what you reflect on, what you tolerate, and what you walk away from. You are not finished, and maybe you never were, but to understand where you are going, it helps to look at how far you have already come. Think about the person you were 10 years ago, not just what they looked like. Think about how they saw the world, what they were afraid of, what they wanted, what they thought mattered, what they understood, what they believed they would never get over, what they thought they knew. Take a second with that person, because in some strange way, they are both you and not you. That version of you might feel close, but also strangely distant, like a person you remember being but could never fully become again. And one day the version of you watching this video will feel the same way. The things that feel urgent now may become small. The beliefs that feel certain now may soften. The pain that feels permanent now may become part of a larger story. The questions you are asking now may become the foundation for a completely different way of seeing. That is what time does. It does not just move you forward, it changes the person being moved. So are you the same person you were 10 years ago? In one sense, yes. There is continuity. There is memory. There is a body that carried you from then to now. There is a story connecting the versions of yourself across time. But in another sense, no, you are not the same river. And you are not the same person standing in it. You have been shaped, revised, damaged, repaired, expanded, and rewritten by experience. Maybe there is no fixed essence sitting untouched beneath it all. Maybe who you are is the unique pattern left behind by everything you have lived through. And maybe the real question is not, am I the same person I used to be? Maybe the real question is, what kind of person am I becoming? Because this version of you is temporary. And whether that is frightening or beautiful depends on what you do next.